You fall in love with the recording process because that's obviously a big part of.
Jeff Lynne stands as one of rock music's most accomplished figures, having created the distinctive sound of Electric Light Orchestra and produced numerous landmark albums throughout his career. His collaborative work with the Traveling Wilburys, Tom Petty, George Harrison, and Roy Orbison demonstrated his exceptional musical abilities. As someone who plays guitar himself, Lynne understands the instrument from multiple perspectives, giving him unique insight into what makes a guitarist truly exceptional. His experience as a producer, songwriter, and guitarist allows him to distinguish between merely good players and genuine legends in the field. When Lynne shared his personal list of 10 favorite guitarists, the music community took notice. This wasn't simply another fan compiling a list of personal heroes. Lynne had actually worked alongside guitar legends and carefully studied their techniques over many years. His production approach has always emphasized achieving perfect guitar tones and creating memorable parts that serve the song beautifully. Lynne seeks specific qualities in the guitarists he admires most, focusing on characteristics that go beyond simple technical proficiency. Lynne consistently values melodic sensibility over pure speed. He appreciates guitarists who think like composers and arrangers rather than just performers. While technical ability certainly matters, musical intelligence holds greater importance in his view. His choices reflect a fundamental belief that great guitar playing should enhance songs rather than overwhelm them. The list includes obvious legends alongside some surprising selections that reveal his sophisticated understanding of guitar artistry. Starting with Duane Eddy at number 10, Lynne recognizes the pioneer who essentially created instrumental rock and roll with his deep, twangy guitar sound. Eddy's hits like Rebel Rouser and Peter Gunn showcased a completely original approach to electric guitar. He played simple melodies on the bass strings of his Gretsch guitar, creating a dark and mysterious sound that captivated listeners. Lynne loved how Eddy made minimalism sound both dramatic and exciting, proving that less could definitely be more. Eddy's innovative use of tremolo and reverb influenced countless guitarists and producers who came after him. His guitar tone was instantly recognizable after just 2 notes, demonstrating the power of a distinctive voice on the instrument. Lynne appreciated how Eddy understood that production and tone were just as important as the actual notes being played. Eddy never bothered with complicated solos or technical showmanship. Instead, he created memorable melodies that stuck in listeners' heads forever. What made Eddy truly special was his focus on atmosphere and mood. His instrumentals told complete stories without needing any words. Eddy proved that simplicity combined with great tone could beat complexity every single time. His influence spread across rock, country, and surf music, teaching Lynne valuable lessons about how production enhances guitar performance. At number 9, Hank Marvin and the Shadows dominated British instrumental rock before the Beatles changed everything. Marvin's clean, precise playing style influenced an entire generation of British guitarists. His red Fender Stratocaster became an iconic symbol throughout England. Lynne grew up listening to Shadows records and learning Marvin's melodic approach to lead guitar. For young British players, Marvin showed what was truly possible on the instrument. Marvin's playing on tracks like Apache, FBI, and Wonderful-Land demonstrated perfect technique combined with beautiful phrasing. His tone was crystal clear with just the right amount of echo added. Marvin used his Stratocaster's tremolo arm expressively, adding genuine emotion to relatively simple melodies. Lynne loved how Marvin made instrumental guitar both accessible and exciting to mainstream audiences. What separated Marvin from other players was his classical music training combined with raw rock and roll energy. He thought in terms of composition and arrangement rather than just playing notes. Marvin essentially made British rock possible, paving the way for future legends. His influence on guitarists like Jeff Beck, Eric Clapton, and Mark Knopfler cannot be overstated. The Shadows records provided the blueprint for British guitar music. Chet Atkins lands at number 8, having mastered fingerstyle guitar and created the Nashville sound that dominated country music for decades. His technique allowed him to play bass lines, chords, and melodies simultaneously on a single guitar. Lynne studied Adkins' records carefully, amazed by his precision and musical intelligence. Adkins could play any style from country to jazz to classical music with perfect fluency. He recorded hundreds of albums showcasing incredible versatility and impeccable taste. His Gretsch signature guitars produced warm, clear tones that became the standard for country music. Lynne appreciated how Adkins never stopped learning and experimenting throughout his entire career. Beyond performing, Adkins produced records for other artists while maintaining his own busy schedule, showing complete dedication to music. What impressed Lynne most was Adkins' generosity as a mentor and his sophisticated harmonic knowledge. Adkins understood complex jazz chord voicings and used them effectively in country contexts. He combined technical perfection with pure musical taste in a way few others achieved. Adkins influenced guitarists across all genres, not just country music. His approach demonstrated that guitar could function as a complete orchestra in sufficiently skilled hands. James Burton takes the 7th position, having become the most requested session guitarist in both rock and country music. His work with Ricky Nelson, Elvis Presley, and countless other artists established Burton as the gold standard for professional guitar playing. Lynne admired Burton's remarkable ability to create perfect parts for any musical situation. Burton never imposed his ego on recordings, instead serving songs brilliantly. His Telecaster technique combined country chicken picking with rock and roll attitude seamlessly. His bending techniques and fast, clean runs influenced generations of players who followed him. Burton could play blazing solos or subtle rhythm parts with equal mastery. Lynne noticed how Burton always made singers sound better without competing for attention. Burton understood that great guitar playing should support the entire musical arrangement. What made Burton truly irreplaceable was his instantly recognizable tone and phrasing. Just 3 notes would immediately reveal Burton's identity to knowledgeable listeners. He represents the perfect professional guitarist who seemingly never played a wrong note. Burton's red Paisley Telecaster became one of rock's most famous instruments. His work represents the ideal balance between technical skill and musical intelligence that Lynne values above everything else. Brian May occupies the 6th position, having built his own guitar and created one of rock's most distinctive sounds. Brian May's homemade Red Special guitar, combined with his layered recording approach, produced massive orchestral tones. Lynne deeply admired May's production techniques and his complete originality. Queen's guitar sound was instantly recognizable as Brian May, demonstrating true musical individuality. May recorded multiple guitar parts that harmonized like vocal choirs, creating rich textures. His solo on Bohemian Rhapsody built gradually from delicate picking to explosive power. May used a British 6-pence coin as a pick, creating his unique attack and tone.
Lynne loved how May thought beyond standard rock guitar approaches, treating the guitar like an entire orchestra section. What made May special was his combination of technical skill, songwriting ability, and sonic innovation. May composed anthems like We Will Rock You that were simple yet incredibly powerful. His dedication to creating unique sounds without following trends set him apart. May's work with Queen influenced rock, metal, and progressive music equally. His homemade guitar proved that individual vision creates individual sound, inspiring countless musicians to find their own voice. Roy Orbison claims the 5th spot, remembered primarily for his incredible voice, though few people know he was also a brilliant guitarist. Orbison played all the guitar parts on his early hits himself. Lynne worked closely with Orbison in the Traveling Wilburys and discovered his hidden guitar genius firsthand. Orbison's rhythm playing was sophisticated, and his solos were melodically perfect. His guitar work on songs like Oh Pretty Woman and Only the Lonely showcased his understated brilliance. He never overplayed or drew attention away from his vocals, understanding exactly how guitar parts should support and enhance singing. Lynne appreciated Orbison's complete musicianship and his ability to arrange entire songs mentally before recording them. George Harrison takes fourth place, having become one of Jeff Lynne's closest friends and collaborators. Their musical partnership produced some of rock's most beautiful moments. Harrison approached guitar as spiritual practice rather than ego display. Every note he played carried meaning and intention. Lynne witnessed Harrison's genius firsthand during countless recording sessions and learned enormously from watching him work. What made Harrison irreplaceable was his spiritual approach to creating music. He viewed guitar playing as meditation and service to the song rather than personal showcasing. Harrison had the purest musical heart of any guitarist alive, according to Lynne. His slide guitar work created new vocabulary for rock music that others continue using today. His influence came from perfect taste and impeccable timing rather than technical showmanship. Working with Harrison changed Lynne's life and music forever, providing both personal friendship and musical inspiration that deeply affected his artistic development. Chuck Berry lands at number 3, having created the entire language of rock and roll guitar. Every rock guitarist who came after Berry uses vocabulary he invented during the 1950s. Lynne recognized Berry as the foundation of everything rock guitar became. Berry combined songwriting genius, showmanship, rhythm playing, and lead guitar into one complete, revolutionary package. His introductions to Johnny B. Good and Roll Over Beethoven are among music's most famous guitar moments. Berry's double-string bending technique became standard for all rock guitarists who followed. His rhythm playing drove songs forward with unstoppable energy, while his famous duck walk made guitar playing visually exciting. Lynne studied Berry's records obsessively as a young musician, absorbing his innovations. What elevated Berry above most others was his completeness as an artist. He wrote brilliant songs, sang them convincingly, played revolutionary guitar, and created the entire rock and roll persona that others would emulate. Berry invented the blueprint that every rock guitarist still follows today. His Gibson SS-335 produced a clear, cutting tone that defined rock sound for generations. Every guitarist owes Berry an enormous debt for creating the foundation upon which they build. Jimi Hendrix takes second place, having exploded every rule about electric guitar in just 3 years of recording. His innovation exceeded what most guitarists achieve in their entire lifetimes. Lynne studied Hendrix extensively, trying to understand his harmonic concepts, rhythmic ideas, and sonic experiments. Hendrix reimagined the entire instrument from the ground up with complete originality. His performances at Monterey and Woodstock showed that guitar could be theater, art, and transcendent music simultaneously. Songs like Purple Haze and Voodoo Child pushed electric guitar into territories nobody had imagined before. Hendrix used feedback, distortion, and effects as compositional tools rather than accidents. Lynne appreciated how Hendrix combined blues feeling with psychedelic experimentation seamlessly. What made Hendrix unrepeatable was his combination of technical mastery and pure artistic vision. He played upside-down Stratocasters strung backwards, creating unique fingering possibilities that contributed to his distinctive sound. Finally, at number 1 sits Buddy Holly, who revolutionized rock and roll guitar in just 18 months of recording. His work created the template for every rock band that followed. Lynne places Holly at number 1 because Holly combined songwriting genius, innovative guitar playing, and complete musical vision like no one else. Holly didn't just play guitar, he showed the world how guitar, bass, and drums could work together as a complete unit. His rhythm playing on songs like Peggy Sue and That'll Be the Day drove the music with incredible energy. Holly's Fender Stratocaster became the iconic rock guitar that countless others would use. Holly used studio techniques like double tracking that influenced the Beatles and everyone who came after. Lynne studied Holly obsessively and credited him as his biggest single influence. What made Holly irreplaceable was his complete approach to making records. He wrote, sang, played guitar, and produced his own material, exercising creative control over every aspect. Holly created the modern rock band format that became standard. His tragic death at just 22 years old robbed music of its greatest young genius. His influence on Lynne and Electric Light Orchestra was absolutely profound and permanent, shaping their entire musical approach.